Super Bowl odds are out for next season on Fox Bet Sportsbook. And guess who's the favorite? The Chiefs at plus 500. Their opponent in the Super Bowl this season in 2 weeks, the Eagles, tied with the third best odds at plus 1,000. Shannon, what does this tell you about the game we're about to play in 2 weeks?
It tells me that the odds makers don't really respect the Eagles. I don't know how, Skip. I've been in this situation. We beat Green Bay in Super Bowl 32. We're double-digit underdogs. We beat them. Break the 14-year stranglehold.
Were you double-digit? I don't remember that.
11-point underdogs in Super Bowl. Because you got to realize they had just won the Super Bowl the year before, and Brett was the MVP. And the NFC
I was there, and I don't even remember you being that big of an underdog.
NFC had won 14 straight. So it had dominated. None of the games were close except the 90 Super Bowl. All of them been blowout.
Was this in San Diego?
It was in San Diego, yes.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
So, and Skip, we win the ball game, and immediately after, Super Bowl 33, the favorite is the Packers. I'm like, how? We just beat them. And we bring our team back, and everybody was under contract, so it wasn't like John was not under contract, or TD or myself. All of our core guys were coming back. I don't get how the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, and now they have time for the third best odds to get back. That makes no sense. Skip, they want the Bills to be Super Bowl so bad. They just keep throwing it out there, and they just keep taking people money. But the surprising, the Cowboys. Because they know them delusional Cowboy fans going to bet on them sorry rascals. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we can build another casino with them dumb heads that keep betting on the Cowboys. No good and damn well. In 28 years. So just think all the money that y'all bet on the Cowboys over the last 28 years to win the Super Bowl, just imagine if you had saved that up. You could have damn near bought a team.
I don't feel like talking about my Dallas Cowboys right now because they're nowhere to be found right now. They didn't even make it.
Y'all one of the top favorites next year.
Yeah, well, whatever. We're always, right?
Exactly.
Always. All right, back to the Eagles, our arch rivals. Fly, Eagles, fly. Why, Eagles, why? I still cannot fathom how the Eagles are favored in this Super Bowl. I don't get it. I love Jalen Hurts, but I don't love what's happening right now because it's Jalen Hurts against Patrick Mahomes. Do I think Jalen's better than Patrick? Well, no. I don't, because nobody does.
Right.
Nobody in the world. Jalen has worked wonders with his throwing game. It's off the charts, the improvement that this young man made. He is the essence of the Eagles. He is their leader. He is their playmaker. He's their driving force. We get that, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. It's a quarterback's game, and it's going to come down to which quarterback plays the best. Inevitably, it just does. Well, do I think Patrick has high probability of outplaying Jalen? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
But Skip, we will take the top 10 players. I believe of the top 10 players, I believe Kansas City has 3 of the top 10. I believe Mahomes is 1.
Yeah.
Kelsey's going to be in the top 5. Chris Jones. The rest of the 10, the next 7 are going to be Eagles. Be it Jalen Hurts, be it A.J. Brown, Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Landon Dixon, whomever it's going to be, Skip, they possess 7 of the top 10 players that's going to take the field. We know Mahomes is going to be number 1. We know Kelsey's going to be a top 5. We know Chris Jones is going to be top 5. But the other 7 are going to be Eagles.
But they might be top 3.
Okay.
I mean, they might be 1, 2, 3 right there.
Those are the only positions, Skip. Okay. Tight end, Kelsey. Quarterback, Mahomes. D tackle, Chris Jones.
Got it.
But Skip, every other position, the Eagles win. Name a position other than that Kansas City's going to beat the Eagles in. If you go to wide receivers, you go to running backs, you go to DBs, you go to linebackers. Come on, Skip.
I don't know. Miles Sanders had a great year, but is he better than...
He better than Pacheco, Skip.
I don't know, man. Boy, he runs so angry hard. He's pretty good. I don't know. They're like 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
No.
Gainwell's the one who makes the difference to me because he makes all the big little plays.
The receivers, the offensive line, Skip. They got three guys. They got 3 guys in the pro.
You love McKinnon. You love what he does.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other running back. Okay, I'm a prisoner of having watched the arch-rival Eagles come to Jerry World on December the 24th And they gave us a bunch of early Christmas presents because they had Gardner Minshew at quarterback. But Shannon, I saw Dak Prescott and company score 40 on the Eagles defense. They just went up and down the field at will. 40.
That's a division.
4-0.
Skip, you know, you throw everything out the window in the division game.
But 40, that's throwing everything out the window. That's 40 points out the window. I can't get it out of my head because we had our way with Slay and Bradbury. It's like, you want it? You want CD or do you want?
But they had an off game. The defense was off, but it didn't help that Gardner Minshew presented for gifts, for turnovers.
Yeah, he did, but he also went up and down the field. He threw for 341 on my defense.
Right.
Okay, so he wasn't a joke or an embarrassment.
I think that's why you see the line the way it is. What 1 point, 1.5 point. The Eagles.
But it's just sat right there. It opened right in that ballpark, and it's just sat right there at 1.5.
Right.
There's no big swings like there were last week.
Well, ain't nobody coming in and dropping no big money. I guess Mattress Mac said, he put the money on Cincinnati. I guess he put a couple of $1 million on Cincinnati. He's like, I'm done with this one.
Okay, but the Eagles are new to this.
Right.
They played one playoff game last year. They went down to GOAT, and they got it handed to them. Okay. And they got their feet wet, and they said, okay, what do we need to improve? And they improved everything.
Yeah.
But they played an incredibly easy schedule to start because I told you to open the year, I looked at their schedule, and I said, I'm not even sure they're going to lose one game this year. Mm-hmm. And then they lost at home to Washington, remember, on the Monday night?
Yeah.
And it wasn't Jalen's fault because he threw 3 passes that should have been gold for him, and they were fool's gold, right? So the point is, that I think they were a little bit of a product of an easier schedule. And they did get to play the New York Giants, and I don't think they're any powerhouse team. I don't think that's a budding dynasty with the Giants. And they got to wipe them out. And then what happened right on schedule? Brock Purdy gets his arm whacked by Hassan Reddick as he's following through, and he gets Tommy John, right? He blows out his elbow.
Right.
Okay, so there was no quarterback. It's Josh Johnson. They had no chance, right? Then it became a mismatch because there was no 49er quarterback. If it had been Jimmy G, if you'd had a healthy quarterback, I'm not sure about this, right?
Are you saying if you had a healthy quarterback, you don't know if sure they've won? Or obviously, I don't think they win by this much.
I mean, I thought San Francisco was a better team overall, minus the quarterback, than Philly was.
Right.
And I thought it was going to be a barn burner down to the wire. And I thought Jalen could make one more play than the kid would make Brock Purdy, but he was 7-0.
You can't turn the ball over.
Okay.
That turnover right before the half, it was 14-7. Looked like it's going to be 14-7.
Okay, but there's no more Brock Purdy, so there's no more Magic Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're not winning the game with Josh Johnson. And then he gets knocked out. And now you got to bring Purdy back in there, and all he can do is hand off.
He can't even throw. So it's a mismatch, but it's disqualified because the quarterback got hurt. What was it? Middle of the first quarter?
Yeah, the first series of the game.
Well, then it's game over. So how do you suddenly vault to a 1.5 favorite over a Mahomes team that has played 5 straight home AFC championship games? You want to talk about playoff tested? You want to talk about playoff veterans? That team is playoff molded.
I can't wait for USA to do their top 15, top 20, or however they do it, whatever players for the Super Bowl. I guarantee you there'll be more Eagles in the top 10, top 15 than there will be Chiefs. And that will explain why the
But I'm still saying if you got 1, 2, and 3, and one's the quarterback and one's the pass rusher, you're good. And again, Hassan Reddick was like a revelation against San Francisco.
But Skip, where do you think Lane Johnson's going to finish? Where do you think Kelsey? Where do you think Dixon's going to finish?
And remember, Lane Johnson tore his groin again.
I can't tell.
I know. I couldn't tell what he did against
Nick Bosa.
I know. I don't know, but he said he tore it again.
Yeah. Well, somebody need to make him move suddenly because he anchored down and he did a job on Nick Bosa, who's going to be Defensive Player of the Year.
Kansas City's offensive line led the National Football League in pass block win rate. He gets protected.
Well, Skip, it's not like the Eagles were the bottom 5.
No.
They probably was top 2, top 3, and then what? They was top one of the best run.
They were number 1 in pass rush. Pass rush.
The D-line.
Yes.
But the Eagles' offensive line.
No, it was good.
They pass block and they open holes to run.
No, I got it. But still, I don't know.
Well,
those odds next year would tell you what's wrong with these odds.
Who's going to be hoisting that Lombardi in 2 weeks? I can't even think about next year's Super Bowl yet. I'm so excited about this one.
So
coming up only
the Cowboys
on
aren't in it.
Fox.
I'm so excited.
Shannon, you can't take cheap shots now. Come on.
They're the best
All
kind,
right, we
Jen.
got
They're the
our
best kind.
all-star reserves, guys. And guess what? Of course, there are some snubs.
They
some
are.
names left off the list.
Yep.
Let's discuss that on the other side of this break.